This is Viewer Takeover, where we film every Monday night and then we bring it to YouTube every Tuesday morning, afternoon, night, whenever I get around to it. Depends how I feel. But this is where we answer all of your questions. As always, my name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, and also from this channel right here, and from his own channel over there is PSVR Underground. That's AJ in the far left of your screen.
Hello.
Hola, bienvenidos.
Hello.
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien.
And then this guy who I'm kind of rubbing his back right here. It looks like...
Oh, that feels good. Actually, I got a backache. I think I slept on it wrong. Get in there.
There we go. That's Dave from Dave Station VR. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting ready to go see a movie. Cleaned my house all day and ready to answer some questions. Let's do this thing.
Fantastic. All right, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way real quick here. We want to make sure that everybody goes to all three of our channels and subscribes. Make sure you like all the videos, because you just sit there all day and click like on all the videos. Like that's,
Yeah.
We're going to...
It can't take that long.
Somebody actually said they did that one time. I was like, no, you don't have to do that. They're like, hold on, I've got like 3 more days to go. I'm like, no, it's really
Jesus.
okay.
I've heard that before too, and I was like, no, it's the better things you can be doing with your time for sure.
I would never do it for your channel. No, absolutely.
You got way too many videos, Brian. I'm sorry.
Yeah, way too many. I've only got like 200. That's manageable.
Still
Yeah.
big undertaking, that's for sure. Also, make sure you hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
For $1 or more every month, but we'll get back to that in just a second. And make sure you join our Discord servers, where all of us hang out and chat until like 5 o'clock in the morning, and no one gets any work done. So make sure you click that link in the description and join us over there.
Been lots of great multiplayer meetups in there recently too. They've got at least a couple hours of Firewall going every single night, so don't miss out.
Yeah, and it's fun. You get in like a big 8-player private match, have a good time. Like, a lot of cats out there.
Yeah, I heard you guys were having some good times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, we want to thank a ton of people. And the first person we want to thank is Aceville, the harmonious. I was going to call him the harmonious game cat, but he's actually the harmonious
Attack
cat. For that awesome viewer takeover introduction, which of course, featured some of us from the Game Cat Meetup 2019.
That was such a good video. When he posted that on Twitter, I was like, you need to get this on a viewer takeover as soon as possible.
I even like plugged it a little bit. I'm like, hey, if anybody needs a music video or something, like my skills.
Yeah, no, that was great, man. We actually didn't take nearly as many videos or photos at the meetup as I thought we were going to, so it was nice to have that kind of short mini version of the trip. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Aceville. But of course, Aceville isn't the only person we want to thank this week. We also want to thank a bunch of people. Isn't that right, AJ? Oh,
that is.
I'm sorry. I did this in the wrong order. I apologize. This is my bad. We want to thank these people down here. These are the people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole. They're giving us $1 or more every single month. They also, for their $1 or more every month, they get their name on this illustrious list down here. But they also get an episode of the Litter Box each and every week, except for this week, because I kind of screwed up my schedule. I apologize. But every other week besides this one, whatever. The Litter Box, where me and Jeremy hang out. We talk about a bunch of stuff. Sometimes it's other people. When you guys are in town, we all hung out and we talked about stuff.
Yeah.
It's not PSVR related. It's just us goofing around, having a good time, talking, shooting the shit. But if you like behind the scenes without parole stuff, you're going to want the Litter Box. And it only costs you $1 a month. And
also, I will say that when you guys do talk about extra PSVR content, it's really sweet. Because you do sometimes. But that's not the only people we want to thank now, is it, Brian?
No.
We would like to thank the people that took the Beauty and Decay's lead in changing their name to something Game Cat, Game Cat something Game Cat adjacent on YouTube, and just another way to show their loyal support to us and this community, which is the best on the internet, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And first up, we've got Cole Rob, the corny Game Cat.
Oh yeah.
This one has an interesting story behind it. I actually got to play a game with Cole Rob the other day, and really good dude. And this came up as a part of our conversation about candy corn.
Yeah.
Yes. And now we have spawned 2 sides that are feuding, and there's like Team Children of the Corn, and then there's like the other side, which is actually kind of losing a little bit because they're not really putting up much of a fight, even though they strongly believe in their hatred of candy corn.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a debate as old as time. Is candy corn good or is it terrible?
It's debate as old as candy corn.
No, candy corn has been sitting in a bag since the beginning of time. I guarantee you, all of it.
We also have another one at this one. Now he's made a couple appearances, but this is just another one, and we'll of course give you a shout out every time you change it, and it doesn't matter. And that's going to be K Panic, the cringeworthy Battle Cat.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's nothing cringe about him.
Nope. Cringe is one of my least favorite words.
Me too.
It's very a YouTube centric word these days. People go, "Oh, I don't like when you guys go this week in unison. It's so cringy."
I've seen those comments. Yeah.
No, you've seen it because 11,000 people have posted that since we started PSVR this week.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Good, you get it. It's supposed to be cringeworthy." If you say the word cringy, then like your comment is immediately more cringy than anything we've ever done.
Right. Just yeah. But he does it. He plays it off well here. There's nothing cringy about it.
Oh no. Yeah, absolutely. K-Panic's the bomb, man. You were the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Knows how to do it. So Brian, what is the point of this show? Might I ask?
God only knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. There's no way to find out. Yeah, well, we just scan the comments for the hashtag viewer takeover. We scan the Discord. In the Discord server, there is a viewer takeover channel, and these are the places, these are the ways you can leave us questions that we can find, like hidden Easter eggs on Easter. It's like a scavenger hunt, dig buried treasure, and then we like find your questions. We like choose our favorites, and then we talk about it. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Works for me.
I don't even know if I answered your question, AJ, but let's start off with the very first. I'm in a weird mood today. Viewer takeover question, and this one comes to us from Niculo on the Discord. He writes hashtag viewer takeover because he knows what's up. The seemingly real news of Horizon Zero Dawn getting a PSVR game is pretty exciting. We agree. Praise the sun! Exclamation point. I simultaneously want it now and want to wait until PSVR 2 so we have better controllers and get some more complex combat like the original. What experience do you guys have with the original Horizon Zero Dawn, and what are your hopes for the VR version? I'd like to take a back seat and let you guys talk about this first.
I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. As far as flat screen games, that's one of the best this generation. Awesome Sony exclusive, and just the whole world building and the way everything played. It was just a kind of almost a perfect game. So I'm very excited to see what Sony London Studios can do with a franchise like that, because that's really exciting to me. As far as when it should come out, like I would be fine with waiting, just like you said. I want a Horizon Zero Dawn VR game to be really, really good. And so if it takes a year or two or three, as long as it gets here and it's as good as I hope and expect it will be, I'm fine with waiting.
I actually I played a good chunk of it. Unfortunately, VR kind of came out, so I never got to finish it. However,
unfortunately, VR came out.
For all of us.
Stranger words. Yeah.
Now look what our lives are like.
Right. Yeah, and so it is an excellent game, one of the best of this gen for sure. And it's actually the reason I have a 4K TV, and it's the very first collector's edition with a statue that I bought because
nice.
Oh my god, the statue of that thing is amazing. However, I did end up giving it to my brother, and this is his favorite game of all time now, and Aloy is his favorite character of all time after playing it. So he filled me in. Also, big shout out to my best friend, Bo, who this is his favorite game as well of all time. And he, was able to help me fill me in with all the lore of the story, which, wow, this game has a lot of lore to it. It could do several different things. So as far as a VR rendition of it, it could technically, there's two things I'd like to see. Number one, I'd like to see some kind of spinoff that has, the story can be kind of relatable to Terminator in a way, about machines taking over and wiping out humanity and stuff. And then, of course, there's a resistance up against it. Trust me, it's more complicated than that. That's just the easy, relatable way. But I think there's the most important thing is they'd have to have exploring the world and be like beautiful, look really good in VR. And it could just be any spinoff story-wise. There's so many characters, so many angles that you could take from the game and start you off there. It doesn't necessarily have to be Aloy. Of course, that would be awesome. The other thing would be the Hunters Guild Arena. There is kind of like a little society within a society within a society that they have an arena where you can fight different of the bots like the Thunder Claw and Thunderjaw and the Storm Claw. And it would be really cool to have a first-person battle arena against these things using the technology like the grenades, the tripwires, all the different weapons that you had, and you could level up your character. To me, a spin-off story with a beautiful open world and then this arena would be the perfect VR rendition of this game for me.
Yeah, I like the idea of a spin-off, not just doing the same character, the same exact story, because there is a lot of world building here. There's so much room. And if that's like a thing moving forward, that we get more Horizon Zero Dawn games in that world, I would be so cool with that. The other thing that just popped into my head, which should have been the first thing I thought of, is she uses a bow and arrow in the game.
Right.
It's her primary weapon. And you know how much VR developers love giving you a bow and arrow.
They love
I know how much I love it too.
Yeah, no, in that way, it's like perfectly suited, I think, more than I even considered before. So, yeah. Brian, what you thinking?
I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts on this, and I think I'm contradicting myself constantly. Like every 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, well, what about this and what about that? And all my thoughts are conflicting. And the first thing that comes to mind is that Callum Hurley, who kind of accidentally leaked this news. Just ridiculous.
He didn't accidentally leak it, but he didn't know anyone would notice.
Which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's an industry vet. Like people like know who he is. He works in in VR, and for him to he was like, oh, I didn't realize people were gonna pick up on this. It's like, then you've never used the internet before.
A story on Forbes front page the next day,
right?
Like, okay.
But basically, he was implying that there was going to be an announcement coming soon. So my question is who's working on this thing, right? He's definitely saying London Studio.
Oh yeah,
but London Studio obviously just came out with Blood and Truth and has been working on all the updates and all the all the mini games or whatever that have been coming after that. And so I'm curious to know like what Guerrilla's been doing. Is Guerrilla working with London Studio? And I get it, like Decima, the engine that they built from scratch over there. It's pretty versatile, man. It's like they actually lent it out to Supermassive Games to make their PSVR games.
So really? I didn't know that.
So not only did it create the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's usable in VR. And so the question is how much of their assets are just able to be pushed through into a VR version of this engine. Are we going to be able to, obviously we've got Skyrim, we've got No Man's Sky, we've got examples of open world games being totally doable on current gen hardware.
With the graphical downgrade.
And that's the last thing I want to see for Horizon because that game is beautiful.
Right.
So I guess my biggest worry is that it's some kind of VR experience. And that's the last thing that I want. We saw it with The Last Guardian and it was cool to see Trico in VR. But it didn't offer enough. Obviously we didn't pay for it, but like if I'm going to play Last Guardian in VR, I want to play The Last Guardian in VR.
The closest thing.
It was too much of a tease. And I don't want another tease being like, hey, look what we could have done, but we just didn't really follow through with it.
Right. I think we'll get something in the middle, like directly in the middle, like an 8 to 10 hour game that isn't exactly open world, but lets you explore to a certain extent. And also has that beautiful landscape and has the things that make Horizon Zero Dawn the game it is. I don't think we'll see a full open world, brand new game in this franchise from London Studio in VR anytime soon. And I don't know.
Horizon 2.
And I don't know that London Studio has any particular experience with open world games, like big kind of sprawling like this was.
I mean, not since the Getaway, right?
Yeah, right. So it's been a while. So I'd like to see something straight down the middle there, like brand new kind of experience. Isn't open world exactly, but still gives you that Horizon feeling.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do something that was like very, very narratively focused, saying like we've got a new story to tell you, and they deliver it in the way you just described, and it was 8 to 10 hours, oh, absolutely. And then that really would take care of the open world problem. Horizon doesn't need to be, and this might be a little divisive statement to say, but I don't think Horizon needs to be an open world game for it to be a good Horizon game. I think they can totally pull this off.
It has to be at least like an open area. Like I said, it has to at least look good. If it can look good and kind of mask that there's a world beyond even what you can travel. I've never minded open area games as long as there's a little area to explore. But I think you get the open world experience part of it, story driven, and then hopefully, like I said, some kind of combat mode to really give it some replayability and upgrade system and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think with a Horizon game, open areas like you're talking about, like maybe the whole world isn't traversable and you just go wherever you want, but the area you're in at the moment is pretty big.
Right.
That's sort of necessary to make a Horizon game because you've got giant T-Rexes that you've got to run away from and set a tripwire and get them to come after you. So, like, I don't know how you'd even make a Horizon game without that.
I just want to see I just want to battle all the robots in VR. That and see a beautiful world. Those are the only two things I really care about.
I gotta say, I'm with Nick. I mean, I know he wants it soon so he can play it, but I'm sort of erring on the side of I'd rather wait. Wait till you get the PS5 behind it and give me something a little bit more fleshed out. It's awesome that they're doing something, and like Callum Hurley kind of implied, it's probably something that we're going to hear about sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Although game companies these days they're certainly not averse to announcing something that is years out. They've done it before. They might do it again. We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Oh, and by the way, I played like the first half of the game, and once I realized I was only 15 hours in, I bailed. I was like, I've got VR stuff to play. That's to answer that question. All right, Dave, why don't you want to take away the next question?
Yeah, from a fellow David. We got David Tortilla on the Discord who says, #viewer takeover. If any PS classics were remade as a PSVR game, what would you like to What would you like to see be made? I'm sorry, I can't read tonight.
And I think, are we just talking about PlayStation 1 games during this question? Because
I think I will.
Yeah,
only.
that's all I'm sticking to.
All right, that's what I focused on. And if you don't mind me answering it, we've been talking about how we need more racing games in VR, and I would like one of my favorite racing games.
Yes,
Rage Racer.
Oh, Rage Racer. I thought
it was Ridge Racer for a second.
Which is fine. Rage Racer's cool.
Rage Racer was my favorite Ridge Racer game on PlayStation 1, and I love arcade racing games more than any other kind of racers. And drifting in Ridge Racer is amazing, and that's what I want to do in VR. I think they could absolutely kill it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's it.
What about you, Dave?
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking a couple things. Now, AJ's already said this in his top 5 video that is on the channel. That is a great video.
Go check it out.
Stuff like Cool Borders or Jet Moto would be awesome.
Wait, can I say this real quick?
Sure.
Systems. Okay, thank you. Proceed.
Okay, so I would say something like Parasite Eve, or like another sort of classic PlayStation horror game that could be brought into VR the same way Resident Evil 7 was. Dino Crisis, any of that stuff.
1 and 2.
Silent Hill. Yeah. Give me anything like that. I'm down.
Oh, so I'm going to bring in a little special guest to answer my first one. And it's going to be, you're going to have to let me explain this one because it might sound a little weird at first, but it's going to be my favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy VII, baby. Yes.
AJ, didn't you know that third-person games aren't real VR?
Yeah, so let me explain this one a little bit. Basically, I would want it to look the same, kind of like how the first one looked, and have the same combat system and everything, but just be visually in VR, kind of like how Star Child was. Star Child is actually the first game to make me think about it, is that, a game like that could work if it has amazing visuals. And so, you're sitting there putting in button inputs and stuff, but when you say, for instance, have Cloud do a summon or whatever, and to see that summon like come up in VR and be like huge, or when he does like jumps up and does an attack, and you'd basically be like, kind of think of like Moss, Astrobot, especially Moss, how you have this this kind of diorama like world that you're running through, you're controlling the character, and just everything looks really detailed, really nice. I think it could be a really, really awesome experience that way. The other one would be...
Wait.
Okay.
I was thinking the entire time you were talking, I was just envisioning the sword like slowly like cutting into your shoulder, like slowly. And then when you pulled it out, it was going to be like drenched in blood, but you're like, it was worth it for viewer takeover.
It was. This thing's really sharp too. I got to be careful.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. I had my friend sharpen it.
Jesus Christ. That's a bad idea. That sounds like a really bad idea.
No, it's all right. It's usually just, I'm not going to tell you. But
all right, what's your second one?
It's usually on my mantle.
It's usually in the sex dungeon.
Yes.
Oh, you have one too? That's amazing. Yes. I didn't know we both had one.
Kinky shit with lots of bleeding and laceration. So the second one, now this might be a little surprise. I could have gone with anything from the top 5 PS1 classics list. I could have gone with so many great ones like Soul Reaver, but my choice is going to be Intelligent Cube.
Oh, okay.
And the way that would work, I loved Intelligent Cube, and the way that would work would actually be playing it as you're running around on these little puzzle boards. You've got these blocks that you have to press a button and then detonate them or just time it right to where they disappear. And then you try to clear all the blocks or else you get crushed. Now, this from a first-person perspective and have these giant blocks coming towards you while you run around this little platform seems like it would be so awesome to me. And so, yeah,
I would play that.
It would be Intelligent Cube is for my second pick.
I would play that too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just like how you were doing. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be so fun. Just be crushed by a big block.
So when Doom and all those games came out and everything, way back, I played Wolfenstein. I played Doom on the PC. He just took off his own foot. I played those and I liked them a lot, right? But I didn't discover my real love for first person shooters until Disruptor.
I don't know.
Wow.
I actually don't know that game.
Right?
I have to Google this. I've never.
I wish.
So this was made by Insomniac, same team obviously who ended up making like Ratchet and Clank and all the other amazing games. Still now making VR games and stuff. Now purchased by Sony, and I gotta say, man, like there was like full motion video cutscenes that were horribly acted, and in retrospect, this
at the time it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool at the time.
And to be fair, this game is one of the few of that genre that tried to do this that actually made a decent game out of it. There were so many other ones, I think like MDK and like a couple other ones that were actually not bad. But
I was gonna say, don't shit on MDK.
No, they weren't bad, but I really think Disruptor did it a lot better than a lot of the other ones. Maybe MDK is not the best example. I can't remember the other ones.
No, it sounds like it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a ton of examples like of around the time where everybody tried their hand at a first-person shooter, but nothing had really been, there was no right way to do a first-person shooter, so everyone tried a million different ways. Disruptors for me was the first one that really seemed to do it right. Every level looked different than the last, which was different than Doom, which had a lot of repeating textures, and level 2 looked a lot like level 1. And so this was cool. It had, the full motion video cutscenes again, which, there was a story going on. You had, I want to say they called them psionic powers.
I was just looking at that. That stuff almost reminds me of like pre-BioShock stuff. Yeah, you're in a first-person shooter, but you have psychic abilities where you can like shock and heal and blast and shield and all that cool stuff.
And so I'm thinking, this is just obviously, first-person shooter. I want to do this with the aim controller. I want to run around with that, but also, use a couple of those extra triggers for my psionic powers. So I definitely want to.
The style of the game would look amazing in VR for sure if it was remastered.
Man, I can't believe I've never heard of this game. It's the first game Insomniac ever made, and like one of the producers was Mark Cerny, whose name is probably pretty well known to people.
To everybody at this point.
Yeah.
And amazingly, his first game, Disruptor, was way better than Knack that he made like 30 years later.
Right.
All right, you guys, we get out of here. It's already been a little bit too long. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for hanging out with us. Thank you, all the cats. Thank you, all the cats who changed your name. Make sure if you change your name to GameCat, you let us know in the comments by putting #ViewerTakeover. Also, if you want to leave a question for us to answer, we'll see how well we do that. Leave it down below. #ViewerTakeover, all one word. Or make sure you click that link in our description, join our Discord server, which you should be doing anyway. Join the ongoing discussion that we have every day until about 5 or 6 a.m. And then other cats take over because they're in other time zones. I'm sorry, Dave. Am I boring you?
No, I haven't had any coffee today, and I was running around cleaning all day.
Let me jam it through the camera here.
Get in there.
Right. Join the Discord server. Make sure you hit us up on patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
Nice. And hit us up for $1 or more every single month because you love us almost as much as we love you. That's it. That's Viewer Takeover. Goodbye, everybody. We love you all. Trust me, I was like, KOs? KOs? For years, no one was like, Brian, what the fuck are you talking about?
Is that the thing at the end of a fighting game? I thought.
Exactly.
KOs.
Right. All right, cool. Good episode, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Did you stop it?
No. You never know. You never know when we might say something funny.
Why won't you just let us die? Please release us.
Totally using that instead. Right.